Hey, everybody. It's Saturday. And whether you're working or get the day off, I hope that it's an amazing day for you. And I always joke because most likely this Saturday I'm working. Our schedule's like 6 days a week. But even on Friday, and it's always like the vibe is better because most people have the weekend off and they're just happier on Friday. So I love the weekend, whether I'm working or not, because people are just happier. So I hope this Saturday is very happy for you. And we're going to use the Rebel deck to get our topic for today. What have we got? Make better fucking choices. If you are pissed at where you are, then stop taking yourself there. And we talked about that this week with take another road. Um, when we repeatedly find ourselves in situations that suck, maybe those are just situations we need to not take part in. And sometimes it's a temporary thing. If we have a lot of our own stuff going on, we may not realize to what level that's affecting us until we find ourselves in one of these other situations where we're like, oh my God, this is too much. Um, Saying no and setting boundaries, that can be very challenging, especially if you're someone who's very compassionate. You want to help other people. You want to do what you can to be there for others, especially when we've gone through periods of our life where people haven't been there for us. And we know that hurt. We know that feeling of, the people that you thought were your people, all of a sudden, they're gone. And generally, it happens in a point in your life where you need them the most. And it's part of our journey, it's part of growing in our autonomy and realizing that we do have everything that we need in ourselves, but that doesn't negate or lessen the amount of pain that we feel in those moments when there's no one there. And we've been there for so many people and we've given so freely of ourselves. And then when we find ourselves on the other end of it, when we really need people, we need support, we need that feeling of not being alone and there's no one there. And that's why when we start to set boundaries, protect our energy, protect our resources, protect our sanity by saying no to situations that aren't bad, they're not negative, they're just not right for us at that time. Instead of going forward because we feel like that's the right thing to do, even if it's coming from a very good place inside of us, we need to make the best choice for us in that moment, even if it may not be the best choice for the other person. Because at the end of the day, if we run ourselves down, we wear ourselves out, we deplete all of our resources, we can't even be there for ourselves. And if you've had that experience of being in that situation where like you really are in a place where you need someone and there's no one there and you've depleted everything helping everyone else, that's a scary place to be because now you don't have the resources for you, nor do you have anyone else stepping else up to help you out. And I mean, don't get me wrong, at the end of the day, that's when you realize I don't need other people, but it still hurts. It still hurts because you had put yourself out there to be there for other people, and then when you needed that in return, it wasn't there. And that can either harden you or strengthen you. And that's part of the making better choices is choosing how to process that, how to view that. And rather than allowing it to close you off, make you hateful, spiteful, vengeful, This is the challenge. We will naturally go to the hateful, spiteful, vengeful part because it's a survival thing. Okay, that was bad, so I'm never doing that again. As far as like, I'm never opening myself up to other people again because that hurt and I don't like it and I'm not doing it again. That stops us from experiencing the beautiful part of life. Instead, we can look at it as, you know what? I've invested in the wrong places. I've overinvested in what could have been a good situation. Um, I need better boundaries and I need to be more discerning about where I extend myself. And when you start to get better at reading people and situations and knowing who really wants to improve themselves and they want to do the things to better their situation, they just need a little help along the way, as opposed to the person who just wants someone to come in and do it for them and keep doing it for them. And they don't really want to invest anything in themselves because that's a vacuum. You can give to that all day, and that's never going to stop taking. Whereas, on the other hand, the person who really wants to grow and do better and just needs a little help, that's going to be very rewarding because that's a temporary investment on your behalf. You pour into that for a brief period of time, they grab it and run with it, and you both get the reward of that scenario. But if you're pouring into a vacuum, there's no reward there. That's what grows into resentment and anger, and especially when you know there's never going to be a return on that investment because it's vacuum. It doesn't give back, it just takes. And then when you're over here depleted, there's still a vacuum. There's nothing coming back from that. And it's making better choices about where we extend ourselves, where we place our time, our energy, our resources, you know. And this is something that I have had to really work on because I've made poor choices about where I invest. And again, like I said, being there for other people and then having no one there for you. Yeah, stop taking yourself there. That's a bad place to be. Um, and then after you've taken yourself there and you have nothing, and you're looking over here like, okay, so I gave and gave and gave, and now I've got not a damn thing, and nobody's trying to give back. Okay, that is the hard life school lesson of reciprocation, equal reciprocity, right? Return on investment. If you give, only give from your overflow. If you don't have the energy, don't give it. If you don't have the time, don't give it. If you don't have the money, don't give it. Always keep what you need for yourself first. Address your needs first. Because once you are drained, there is nothing left for you to give to yourself or others. You have taken yourself out of the game completely. And now you've got to be back over here rebuilding, fighting the whole anger, resentment, ugly, emotional. Just don't go there. Don't go there. Put up the boundary, make different choices. Don't repeat it as many times as I did. Thick skull. Actually, it was I had a very deep belief that underneath everything, everyone had a beautiful heart. And I didn't have an awareness yet, I suppose, that there are a lot of reasons that people stay in the places they do. It's not that they don't have a beautiful heart, there are other things going on. But my belief, I had this like Pollyanna belief that if you invested in people, that it would be fruitful. And then I realized that not all people want to grow. A lot of people want to not grow while you take care of their stuff for them. Other people just are having issues at a level that they just aren't in a position to correct their own situation, let alone to ever, strive to give back or become more. And for those of us who just naturally think that everybody's beautiful, that's a hard lesson to learn. And it can cause a lot of resentment and cause us to close off and shut people out and isolate and just kind of drop off the grid. And that's not where we're meant to be. It's just a matter of realizing these were life lessons to teach us what to invest in, what not to invest in, and to know that we can never give beyond what we don't need for ourselves. And, I've mentioned before, I grew up in the church, and it was from like 2 weeks old, I was exposed to the doctrine of the church, which was very much a martyr philosophy of give till it hurts. You have to give, give, give. And so I thought that if I didn't give, the shirt off my back, I was not a good person. And it took a long time for me to really change that belief and realize that if I give the shirt off my back, I'm a fucking idiot because now I'm cold and no one else has a shirt. But it's that deep-seated belief of what makes you a good person and what your belief is about what makes you a good person. And when I came to realize that honestly, I am only a good person when I have made sure that I have what I need for my own security, stability, and well being. And if I have nothing beyond that, then you're going to have to knock on another door. Sorry, this is not the time. If I overextend myself and cripple myself in the process, that is my own damn fault because I didn't recognize that I didn't have the resources to give. So you see, we take ourselves to places where we hurt our own feelings. Then we get mad about it and it messes up all kinds of other areas. So just, you know what? Stop taking yourself there. Say no. Put up the boundaries. And if it's some other behavior, um, the common ones being weight, finances, uh, relationships. What do you keep doing over and over again, expecting to have a different outcome? Stop it. It's going to turn out the same. Normally, if we want a different outcome, we have to go within, change the bullshit in our own beliefs, in our own patterns, in our own way of doing things, and then we get that different outcome. And even though it sounds so basic and simple, it takes time. Ironically, in the Bible, there are many periods of 40 days. In astrology, there are many periods of 40 days. Retrogrades, transits, things that define change. 40 days is popular. So, this is my own personal belief based on that type of uh, synchronicity about the 40 days. If you want to do something different, really focus on it for 40 days. Make it a habit. Do it consistently for 40 days. And I'm not sure why 40 days is significant, but it seems to be a thing. If you can hang in there for 40 days, you are well on your way to making that your new behavioral pattern. So make better choices and stop taking yourself to places that hurt you. Even if you have the best of intentions, because I do not know what mile marker I'm at currently on the road to hell. It's paved with good intentions. I know there is a long stretch that I personally have put on the road to hell, meaning well, but causing chaos because I wasn't respecting my own boundaries, acknowledging the other person's limitations, really looking at what was driving my behavior or what expectation I had for the outcome. All of those things need to play into our decisions, and we really need to be mindful to not respond too quickly to requests for our energy, be it time, money, resources, what have you, without taking the proper time to really think through the full scenario. Is this a good idea for me right now? Is it something that you may have done before and was no problem? Absolutely. But in your current situation, as things stand right now, is this a good choice for me? Could this be successful at a different point? Absolutely. Can I do it right now? No fucking way. Honor that. Honor that, even if it's a discouragement to other parties involved. You have to respect your current limitations, your current intuition about whether or not something is right for you. And as much as it may be challenging to tell people you care about no, it's a whole lot better than getting into something that's not going to turn out well. The no is less painful than the fallout of the fucked up situation. So, self awareness, evaluating your behavior patterns, previous outcomes, the outcomes you truly desire, and what needs to change to get you to that rather than the fallout. So, I hope your Saturday is amazing and that today you only take yourself to the most fabulous places. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.